worth more than anything. That's what you're trying to get. That's why you struggle so hard every day going to it and try to people please. But really, that's not the real people pleasing. It's when you feel it in your heart. Yeah, we got to bring the heart out of everybody and get them to feel again. Because that's really the main problem. People have just stopped caring about, well, why should I do that? Or why should I do that? Or why should I do that? You know, because their incentive has always been money. Getting some benefit. You know, the benefit, as far as they're concerned, is for themselves. But as I say, don't you already, especially in the West, already have a lot? You've got 10 TVs and a bed for everybody, and a pillow and a duvet for everybody, and more than one pair of shoes and more than one pair of clothes. Come on, think about it. There's a world out there, right, that suffer to keep you in that decadence. You've got to start and think responsibly now, because you have the knowledge, the power, the access to these tools. Why are you not giving more back? So when they want more back for themselves, you're very begrudging of that. So we can look at it two ways, because the majority of Chinese people, yeah, human rights are very, very bad. Will they ever get better without our help? Who's going to teach you about what? Who's the moral? Who's the standard? We've all got something to give. Now, before we let rhetoric get us caught up in some silly New World Order thing, yeah, let's start to remember that we've all got individual power. Okay, this idea of authority doesn't really exist. It's an invention, a fiction. Like most of the things that we use to give our life a type of meaning, it's all fiction. So if you're going to be, let's say, critical of, oh, why is Jules talking about myth or fiction, like, you know, really think about your life, because 99% of your belief in what you believe in your life is a myth or a fiction. It's an invention of our imaginations. And you have to ask, why have we done this? Why have we constructed this matrix upon ourselves? You've got to ask yourself that question. Because, you know, we represent those that came before us, you know, through the lines of the bloodlines, our own families. We're all connected. We came from one family, didn't we? Go back far enough. Everybody agrees on that. Scientists agree on that. Bible scholars and religious scholars worldwide agree on that. And that's the myth. Because no one was actually there to see it with their eyes unless you was there. But I tell you what, we're here, and that much can be evidence. That's why they'll say, well, we can look at the universe and know that it's expanding because we've looked at it in the past and we looked at it now. Okay, so they'll say, yes, there was a Big Bang. But what we say is, but you're talking about nothingness creating substance, everything, I amness, consciousness, all the other things. I mean, without consciousness, it wouldn't even be relevant because it could not perceive that it existed. So consciousness is very much a part of existence of things. Consciousness creates reality, not reality creates consciousness. Okay? Now that seems strange to some people, but that's how it is. Otherwise you are not alive. So yeah, getting back to the films, because I believe Marvel Comics, whether it's them responsible for the writing or they wrote such rich characters or what, you know, everybody that was involved, they're starting to get it, you know, the storytelling, using these mediums, these great tools to tell the story. And you see, if they do things the right way, yeah, recognize their responsibility in Hollywood. You know, they've got big money, you know. With a lot of power comes a lot of responsibility. They're responsible to the people that they're selling it to, you know, the directors of the companies and things. But also the directors of the companies need to realize is that we're the ones who are going to buy it, aren't we? So you're selling it to us. The customer is always right. And there seems to be this attitude, this aloofness, like, oh, well, we're better than a customer. We know what the customer wants. I mean, this is what the whole idea is about. You know, watch the film and realize what bigotry and prejudice is really about. People are strutting around in life, sticking a chest out, thinking I work at somewhere, you know, and say, oh, I have the right to abuse the customer because the boss told me it's okay. No, you don't have the right to abuse the customer. Who told you that? That makes your company liable. I wouldn't do that. And especially as you would not want people to hear, you know, about how your company does that, because people will stop using you. It's time for the people to all start working together and recognize that we can have organized things, okay? But we've got to be the organizers. You can't be leaving everything to other people and then complain about what you got. That's everybody's problem. And it stems, I'm sorry to say, from laziness. I don't know a lot of people who like to write notices. I don't particularly like it. You know, that's why the system just wrote one notice and then just photocopies it and just puts different names in it and different numbers in it. But it's the same thing, you know. They don't have to write out the whole thing. In fact, in a way, this is another reason why the instrument of the computer has been overused, because now you've got you can store something. Imagine back in the day you had to write everything by hand or type a letter or use a photocopier. You know, it was very complex for the system to do that. And as they've made the change over to computers, they've started working like a computer. You know, so even if human beings don't think that AI is running the government, believe me, a form of artificial intelligence is now in there on many, many levels. You can speak to the phone and the phone will say, I recognize your voice. Did you say blah, blah, blah? That's AI, isn't it? It does. You see, sentience